I never saw it coming. Never. I mean, Jack and I were high school sweethearts. You know, he's always been active at church. That's why I don't understand how he could go in those places. Strip bars. We've got 2 daughters. What if he looks at them like that? I can't even. Jack's been seeing a prostitute. No, I have an infection. An infection. How can I tell anyone at church?
I can probably guess what you're thinking. You hear these stories, and your heart goes out to these people, of course. But then you ask yourself, how is this any business of mine or of my church? I mean, you don't know these people. They don't sit in your pews every week. The sad truth is, they do. It's safe to say that in virtually every church in America, including yours, there are painful, unspoken stories, perhaps just like these, being lived out by people you know. A wise man once said that sin has many tools, but the lie is the handle that fits them all. Satan has created a lie about sex, and it's a lie that much of the world, and even many Christians, have believed, that the physical act of sex can somehow be separated from the precious emotional and spiritual dimensions that God created it to have. And let's not kid ourselves. It's that lie about sex that fuels the business of sex. Strip clubs, pornography, adult bookstores, they impact us all through higher crime rates, higher taxes, lower property values. But the real tragedy of that lie is that marriages are being shattered. Families are abandoned. Young girls are growing up with sexualized self-images. Men are devastated by addiction. This is not how God intended us to live. As the church, our heart of compassion is moved for those who've been hurt like this. But let's be honest, most of us feel helpless to do anything.
Believe it or not, I was a good girl once. Went to Sunday school, sang in the choir. I still sang to my kids. My dad walked out on my mom when I was 15. Mom had to work, so she was gone all the time. I was pretty much alone. Except she always sent my uncle over to watch me. He did it to me twice. My uncle, I couldn't stop him.
In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus taught us that the greatest commandment was to love God with all our heart, all our soul, and all our mind. And without pausing, he added that we are to love our neighbor as ourselves. Love our neighbor as ourselves. Not always an easy thing to do. But the good news is, Jesus has given us the perfect illustration of this. We all remember the story of the Samaritan who encountered the man along the road that had been beaten and robbed by thieves. Well, as the Samaritan demonstrates, loving our neighbor is more than just pity and tears, more than just kind compassion. Love, and here's the rub, love in its fullest sense requires us to take action. Think about this for a moment. The man who'd been beaten and robbed fell directly into the path where others were walking, and they were forced to make a choice. Do I take action and help this man, or do I step around and keep right on walking? Well, today, those people who've been lied to, those who've been deceived and set upon by the modern-day thieves of the sex industry, they have been robbed of the blessing, the gift that God intended sex to be. Now they are directly in our path, and that means we have to make the same choice. What will we do?
I quit church. I quit school. I just quit. I met a guy. He told me he loved me and that he'd take care of me. But he just got me into drugs. That's when I started stripping. It's good money. But I hate it. I hate those men that touch me, and I hate the ones that stare at me with those stupid blank eyes. I drink way too much just to numb it all so I can go on now. I want out, especially for her. But how? And how's God ever gonna forgive someone like me?
A biblical view of love should compel us to act. You see, this woman, like so many others, God has placed them directly in our path. And there are things that each of us can do to help. If they come visit your church, what will you do? Will you step around? Or will you put love into action? We are the body of Christ. This is our battle. The good news is, we're not alone.